Hey, I'm here, Mike Renoir, Northwest Fight Scene, NWFightScene.com, here with Mario Miranda, UFC fighter. You're gonna be fighting here in a week in Seattle, here, right near Kirkland, against Aaron Simpson. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Ready to go.
Yeah. And now you've fighting on a card, a lot of injuries. I think 5 or 6 guys have already come off. When you're training, how do you avoid injuries going into a fight? I know it's a big part. I know every fighter has to deal with it.
Yeah, it is difficult. I deal with some injuries. Training for this fight. I'm 100% now, but I had to deal with a couple injuries too. It's hard to stay off of it. That's what we do. We beating ourselves up.
Right.
While we're training. So, yeah, it is. It is what it is.
Right. Now, tell us about for this fight and preparation for this fight. Who have you been working with? I know in some of your past fights you've worked, of course, with Matt Hume, but also with Anderson Silva and Nogueira. Who have you worked for for this fight?
Well, we did our entire training camp here this time with all the guys from the gym, all local guys. Probably no big names, but we had a great training camp. We're ready. We're ready to go.
Okay. Now, talk about Aaron. Aaron's coming from a wrestling background. He's a guy who's, I think he's 7-2 or 8-2, something like that. Got a couple losses in a row in the UFC, so it's a big fight for him. As for you, going 1-2 into this fight, talk about your opponent Aaron and how you think the fight's going to go.
So definitely another really tough fighter, tough wrestler. He just goes, and we got our cardio ready for it. Actually ready to push the pace on him, and getting ready for his. He has a high. Heavy right hand, we're ready for this, ready to avoid and take advantage of his, mistakes that he leaves open. I'm excited. It's a great fight, like you said. It's a huge fight for both of us, and I can't wait. I'm gonna pull this one off.
Now, the fight being here in Seattle, and you're living and training here in Kirkland. You're a kid from Rio de Janeiro. I mean, a kid. You're in your 30s now. But how long have you been up here in Seattle, and what was that road like to get up here?
I've been in Seattle for 8 years now. I'm in the U.S. for 11 years or so. I'm the local fighter from the show. Actually, I'm excited about that. A lot of friends are coming out to watch me, and like I said, I'm local now. This is home. I'm comfortable here. But coming here, like coming to the U.S. 11 years ago was huge because first I moved to Boston. From Rio to Boston was a huge difference. No English, trying to learn the language, dealing with the weather and everything. When I moved to Seattle, it was like a new world for me. It was way better than the life I had in Boston, and it was like getting my life back because while I was in Boston, I was away from fighting. Wrestling and everything. When I moved back here, fighting became part of my life again, and I love being here. I love representing Seattle.
Right on.
Yeah.
Now, when you came to Seattle, how did you hook up with Matt?
So like when I moved here, I was looking for gyms, places to train, and at the time I used to work at night times, so I did not end up here. I ended up going to this other place up north because Matt didn't have morning classes.
Right.
That was the only time I had for training. And this guy I used to train with up north was Matt's former student. He ended up hooking me up with Matt, and the rest is history. I
Sure.
ended up here.
Well, perfect. Now, with fighters in the UFC, they talk about, hey, they didn't make the UFC. Well, the money for a lot of these guys is still quite there. I'm sure your paydays haven't been huge. Talk about what do you do to supplement your income when you're not fighting? Are you working now, or what are you doing for that side of things?
I'm not, to be honest. I'm not working. I'm trying to stay focused, and training got better. And some of us live in the budget.
Right.
It's not very, it's not very easy sometimes. You know, we all have families. You know, I have my son. You know, people, bills to pay and everything like a normal person. So you know, it's not as easy as many people like to think.
Right. Yeah. A lot of top ramen.
Right.
Macaroni and cheese. So yeah. Yeah.
Well, not quite.
Right. Okay. Now, what do you have? Sponsors obviously play an important part to fill in those gaps if you're not working, you're training full time. Who do you have for sponsors right now?
I don't have sponsors. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
For coming up for this fight in Seattle, hey, everyone out there, that's 1 week to hit up Mario and.
Yeah.
All right. Well, who do you want to thank then for getting you here to this fight?
No, especially my training partners. You know, my trainers, my training partners, people that my sponsors that they don't actually give money, but they help with treatment. You know, like masseuse. You know, masseuse I go to, and everybody that's there for me here in the gym and outside.
Perfect. And are you online and all? Or do you have Twitter or Facebook, anything like that?
Yeah, use your Facebook.
Yeah.
not Twitter so much. You can't really understand it.
Well, I know your teammate Demetrius Johnson. He has something like 2,500 followers now.
I know, it's crazy. He has so many followers. I can't even figure it out. You know.
Yeah. So you don't plan on doing the Twitter at all, or?
Well, we never know. You know, once I'll try to understand it first.
Yeah.
Well, be on Twitter.
Well, all right. Well, hey, I appreciate your time, Mario Miranda. This is Mike Grindwine, Northwest Fights and IndianFightsing.com. We're going to see Mario fighting next week in Seattle, UFC Fight Night 24.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.